Hello everybody, GrayStillPlays, and we're back with another new No Man's Sky video. This one entitled Fight. The last video you guys had said that the unscripted stuff was much better, and man, I appreciate that because, God, I'm so tired of the scripted stuff. And now I don't have to do that anymore because this is slightly easier on me. Well, it's not easier, I should say. It's just more natural. Let's go to the video here. So this video is a little bit shorter than the other one. It's only around... I mean, after you take out all the little credits and end credits and words and everything, I don't know, it's probably only around 50 seconds long. It does have a little bit less information in it, I feel. But the one thing that it does have a lot of is new ships. It has a ton of new ships and ship designs in it, and I do really appreciate that. I want to get the opportunity to at least look at a few of them. There's a couple other things in here that I thought were particularly neat. As always, though, if you guys see anything that I missed, please let me know in the comment section so we can all kind of look back at it and find out every little tidbit that we can gather from yonder slight video that probably came out a little bit early than they were expecting it to. If you guys don't know, it looked like the video leaked slightly early over on an Australian PlayStation site, and then they took it down. But here it is again, most likely because a bunch of people had downloaded it and were posting it everywhere after it had been taken down. So let's get into the video. Looking right here, just in the very first scene, I'll go ahead and stop right here. We can see some pretty decent looking ships on both the left and the right hand side of the screen. Those are cool. And what's neat is we're going to see a lot of different ship designs and ship names in the heads-up display of the ship. Right here we can see, oh, you guys are going to really enjoy me trying to pronounce all this crap. Right here we have the 8-bias S-26 ship, and we have the... I'm not sure if this ship here, I assume that this is a small ship because it doesn't at all look like the giant ships in the background, and it doesn't appear that anything is being targeted in the background. Moving on, you can get a better look at that ship there, and right here I'll stop real quick because this is an interesting planet. It's got the classic blue sky of Earth with the puffy white clouds, just kind of a very normal rock-like formation in the background. Now, the autumnish colored, I don't know, plant life on the ground is something slightly unusual, as is the ferns, if you can see them way over there in the bottom left-hand side. Couple of ships flying there in different configurations. Those are good to see. Like I had said, man, I've seen the same kind of ships for so long that really what this video is to me is just an opportunity to look at the different types of ships, and I'm a big fan of getting to see the different types of spaceships. So, I mean, like, I love the animals and the plants and stuff too, but getting to see some of the different things that you might be flying around in, especially with all the potential options that are out there, is something that I do appreciate. This structure here, I'm not going to go ahead and say that this structure is, like, incredibly unusual or something that's nothing like what we've seen. It looks kind of like the factories and such that we've seen before that the player can kind of hack into. Doesn't look a lot like the other trading posts that we've seen, but moving on, we'll see here, going into a planet. This planet looks a lot, I should say, like one of the very waterish island tropical planets that they had landed on in another playthrough that was done. You can see here another different ship called the Mibosonic. Sounds more like some sort of razor blade. It's got 35 blades on it to shave yourself extra smooth, but it's the Mibosonic S-82. Very interesting ship there. Trio of propulsion on the back. The photon cannon is at a -1. I don't know what that -1 signifies. We also get the opportunity to see this particular ship here. Now, this ship is something that I thought was pretty cool, because now we're looking at this from a distance and we're only going to get a chance to see it very briefly, I guess, but this Reshimat S-28, if you notice, it has like this strange kind of, I don't know what to call this. I guess it's like a frame around the main hull of the ship. I know someone had said like, oh, you know, I want to fly like the TIE fighters or something like that. You know, something that's a more spindly ship, if you will. Something that has like a much lither area of, I don't know, I guess wings or fins around a, you know, central mass of the ship. That's kind of what this looks like. At first I thought it was just a triangular ship, but when you look at it as the scene goes by, it looks more like this is almost an outward wiring of some sort. It's kind of cool there. Move over here into the epic space battles, little area, a couple other ships flying by. Now we've got the the Sosakush S13, which is one of the most comfortable ships you can possibly be in. And we've got, if you notice over here on the right, things have kind of moved around here on this portion of the HUD. Now the weaponry is not on the right side of the screen, it's on the left side of the screen. And then we have this horrible, ungodly, horrible word on the right hand of the screen. The Zugsaxkush Karakai Rolia. And there we get to see some crystalline structures on the asteroids, which they of course have mentioned that you'll get to mine the asteroids, and that's fine. I can't remember ever seeing any physical crystals on the asteroids. We've seen crystals inside of the cave structures and everything, but off the top of my head, I can't remember any crystals on asteroids. Guys, do you remember anything like that? Let me know. Moving on here from more of the Sosakush S13. Now, this scene here. This scene is a scene that I like it, and I like it and I don't like it at the same time. Okay, so let me explain to you. Right here, we're seeing a lot of action on the screen, and that's good. I like the fact that there's small ships everywhere, there's big ships everywhere, there's kind of, I don't know, medium frigate-style ships in the background, or you don't really get any kind of scale, but they're there. We've got the massive space station over here in the right-hand side of the screen, taking up that huge portion of the right-hand side of the screen. We got a planet in the background, we got some glistening from a some sort of solar entity over there casting light. But the only thing about it is that other than the ships in front of us right now, there's not a lot moving on the screen. I mean, all these big ships here are just kind of lingering. When this plays, you'll understand more. I just don't like how they're very static. Now, the possibility in this is that, well, they're big ships, they're not very maneuverable, you know, that sort of thing. But I don't know, if you go to classic space sci-fi history, big ships are still pretty maneuverable. I mean, they were still moving around and stuff. I don't know if they're going to be banking like a fighter, but they were at least kind of flipping out and doing some things. Seeing the impact of the weaponry on the ship itself, just kind of shooting sparks off, at least that's the way it seems when the weapon hits that big ship there. I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe some like extra explosions or particles flying off, or I don't know, maybe the cannonry just wasn't able to even reach the ship and it was dissipating in space. I'm not sure if that's a thing though. Moving on. Okay, now this ship, this entity here is very cool. We get a nice color scheme here. A different appearance this close that does look neat, and I do think that that's pretty cool. Right here we get to see that tracking system in use, where Sean had said that you wouldn't really need to have a ton of twitch skills to be able to fight in space, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with, you know, it doesn't have to be, I don't need the game to be a fighter simulator. I don't need it to be something where my skill is like superiorly tested in the sky, because at its heart, I always kind of thought it of an exploration survival, not really a fighter jet survival game. So that's okay. It's all a matter of how quirky or accurate this kind of automatic targeting system is. I'd like to see more about that. Here we see another ship though, the Insinuma S68. Here's another ship. We get the Usakizawa S24, and then a big old ship in the background there. I think we're going to see this ship again, just looking at the propulsion in the back. That's a lot of thrusters, and we're going to get to see other ships with quite a bit of thrusters as well. Right here, a ship takes some damage, and it looks like it spins out after taking damage. That, I assume, is the Mibasonic S82. Now, that I'm okay with. That I appreciate. When a ship takes damage and maybe it loses its heading or it gets knocked out of the sky, I do like that. Okay, so a lot of people I know are going to comment on this. This is a big thing right here because it's the first time that we're really seeing it, and it's almost like a quest. I mean, I don't know what else to call it. It's basically like a quest from an RPG right here at the bottom right. It says attack ships rescue cargo freighters, attack ships remaining 7. So this is kind of like something I imagine where, you know, if you're going to gain some sort of reputation with a different species or a different type of, I guess I'll call it a society of aliens, this is how you're going to do it. Maybe like these quests will dynamically come up and you can choose whether or not to participate in it. And we do see quite a few different ships and stuff getting shot at in the background. Now right here, you gotta pause this right away. Now we see that the attack ships remaining is down to 4, so I guess they're progressing in the quest in this one. And then the moment that ship that just went down there goes down, it goes down to 3. So that was a quest ship right there. I guess that guy's fulfilling his quest. Different style of HUD here, kind of neat. Don't remember anything like this, and we get another critter in the background here pronounced the Utsuinga S35. Over here, we get to see, this is kind of cool, just like a landscape visage here, a couple of trees and stuff like that, but obviously taking up the most real estate and probably the most impressive thing on the screen is that giant, I don't know, tetrahedron over there with the big old glowing ocular thing right in the middle. That is super cool. And now a lot of ground fighting, that's fine. It looks like here we're just seeing the guy kind of shooting at a little creature while Sentinel is getting pissed off at him and trying to take him out. Got something burning in the background if you notice. Something on fire. I'm not sure if that is a piece of a ship that you can collect, I wonder, or whatnot. This particular planet looks fine. I'm okay with this planet. Couple of like green grass going on here, trees in the background, a nice little mountainish scape, a lot of life going on. Some things flying in the background. That's fine. And now we're gonna get to see these bipedal walkers a lot, which is okay. The bipedal walkers are fine. I was hoping to maybe see like, I guess we've seen all the different Sentinels that we can think of right now. I was maybe hoping to see a new type of Sentinel, or maybe just seeing a new variant of some sort. But this bipedal guy is everywhere. They love showing him. And now this critter here, cute looking crab creature on a very desolate looking planet. Now, something odd over here is this red paint job going on, almost like it's been selected or something. Obviously, they disabled the HUD to really get this guy looking on. And then we've got the red planet or moon in the background casting that awesome red glow on this otherwise. I guess this planet looks more like a moon than anything else, just from its scape. But you can see it's got what looks like some plant life on it. Moving past here, a much more impressive, I won't really call it a crab, a 6-legged crab-like, just massive, spindly squid thing, walking squid on legs, with a couple of extra planets, well, an extra planet, I should say, in the background with what looks like a moon. And then just some herd-like creatures. Do like those. I think that we've seen these dual-tail guys before. They really remind me of the other dual-tailed antler-like creatures, as well as, you know, like almost tortoise-like critters over here on the upper left-hand side of the screen. We get the Kaiwakai S84 again, but now it's kind of like they're blocking a lot of the view off as we get all this to the stars and kind of just, oh, here's that ship again with all of the different thrusters on it. I knew we would see this guy again. Also, something to note is this like very, very green atmosphere hue. Sean had mentioned that the reason, well, one of the reasons, I guess, that they had a problem with the original periodic table is that the periodic table of elements didn't really allow for this sort of light refraction to occur. It wouldn't allow for like green skies and skies of like weird, crazy colors. So they had, what's kind of one of the reasons that he wanted to meld things that are not scientifically accurate with things that are scientifically accurate, because it's difficult to be scientifically accurate when you're dealing with a genre that is not often scientifically accurate. So I wonder, is this supposed to be a green atmosphere? Like, would that place have a green sky because the atmosphere that we're looking at here has a green hue to it? Here, another set of, well, here, this is kind of an interesting area right here because it's very dark. Like the entire space here is dark. You can see a couple of other ships on the bottom left, and then you can see a big something on the left. And the reason I say it's big is because this ship that we're in is moving, and it is staying pretty darn stationary. So I imagine that the distance around it is fairly large. A giant craft that's straight ahead of us, and then another craft here, the Hisomak S92. I've noticed that the naming scheme is kind of very similar in that it has a name, and then a letter, and then a number. I'm curious if that's just part of the algorithm or whatever have you. Here is the final shot, and if I can get this shot looking decent, it's kind of weird because in the shot they kind of blur everything out very quickly with this solar flare. But you can see there's another spaceship name there. I just can't quite make it out, but it's another name followed by a letter and then another number. In this case it says 84. I imagine it could be something that we've already seen. Guys, that is the fight trailer so far. I would put it behind the initial trailer that we had, which was the Explorer trailer. I really love that trailer. I think that trailer had a lot going for it. And when you get a creature or a bug that gets its own damn hashtag, like hashtag buffbugdig, you know that you made a trailer correctly. Anyway, guys, talk to me. Give me any kind of little tidbits or insights into this that I may have missed. I may make a video about all the little insights that you guys had on the last one, and you guys had really picked out some really neat stuff, and I'd like to just put that together and give you guys credit for all those different things that you noticed in that video. As always, I really appreciate you guys taking the time to talk to me about this stuff. I always enjoy reading the comments, and man, I try and reply to as many as I can. I honestly do. Until the next time, as always, stay foxy and much love.